Hey guys, Moms Against Medical Bullying. So I just want to talk about something that kind of got me triggered a little bit. Um, so, all right, I think that, in regards to the germ theory and basically like the medical system as a whole, like when the Bible says that even the elect will be deceived, like I see that a lot of the church, I'm not going to say a lot of church, I see that some church people like that I've encountered they're not aware of the fraudulencies of the medical system that's established in the world. Like they don't really see that it's a part of the world system. They don't really see that it's a like that it's a system that needs to be navigated with caution. So, and like over here in this video with Kat Kerr, maybe some people are amazing at sharing revelations they have about the Lord and specific things, but then when it comes to certain things, they can be totally ignorant about those things. But what I'm saying is that, like, if you're not aware of something or you don't really know how to answer a question, like it's okay to say, like, I don't know. I don't know about that. So I look at what she says here, what question this guy asks her.
I remember you saying that they actually can talk. When we get to heaven, we'll be conversing with our pets.
Yes, absolutely. And they talked in the Garden of Eden, or Eve would have been over the snake talking.
It's going to get there in a second.
So that's restored to them. So yes, look forward to that. Be nice to your pet.
That's good. Okay, I'm going to blend these two together, and I think that people are asking about, is there a COVID cure coming? People are kind of freaking out. This is probably the most common question. Please ask Kat about the vaccine. And some of them are afraid to take the mark of the beast. They don't want the vaccine. Other people are afraid to get sick. Other people are afraid that the government is going to control. So what do you have to say about COVID and taking the vaccine or not taking the vaccine and those kind of things?
Okay. Again, I'm going to just repeat what God said. It is a virus. A virus comes and goes. I know it affects others more.
So she says, I'm going to repeat what God says. What God is she talking about here? I mean, I know I'm being kind of critical, but it's like, so she's saying God told her that it is a virus, yet people are saying that, oh, they're, they've not isolated a virus. Like there's a lot of fraudulencies in the theory about viruses. So, so I don't know. I think that she's just kind of saying, she's just kind of going along with the medical establishment because, it is when you speak against the medical establishment, you're kind of looking for trouble in a sense, right? Because they're a powerful entity in the earth.
More highly than other, some people, I know young people almost never are affected by it, and there's a whole age group that's almost never affected by it. Actually, 90% of America has not been affected by that. You need to understand that. They make it sound like that everyone everywhere has had it, and some doctors are writing down anything. It doesn't matter what it is you come in with, they're writing it down that it's the virus, therefore that gets recorded as being part of it. But I would say this about the vaccine.
At least she said that.
Myself, I'm not choosing to take that. Number one, I don't need it. I don't feel like I need it at all. And I think that is a personal choice. I think they should always leave it a personal choice. At this point, according to Trump, it is a personal choice. Now, if your governor wants to push it, especially the ones controlling things, I can't promise what they're going to say. They've been doing a pretty thorough test mark on different age groups, and so far no one has died from taking it. So I also want to encourage you with that. They've had some of the best people designing and developing.
Hold on 1 second.
It's in your nature to be busy.
Not from China. I have to add that. There's no way that we're getting any of that or any.
So she says they have some of the best people.
Part of it is not coming from China, which actually developed the whole thing on purpose. You need to know it was done.
So she's down with that theory that they developed this virus, a particle that nobody can see, but somehow they released it into the air, okay, to attack everyone. So she's down with that theory. also says that the vaccine is developed by the best people. It's like, just shows you that she's really not aware of maybe she's not aware of, I don't know, the corruption behind this vaccine situation.
Purpose. So anyway, I would say that's your own personal choice. What gives you peace is what you pick.
True.
But I haven't heard of anyone so far have taken any of that has died from taking it. So I can't say that it's a death threat to anyone who takes it. It absolutely is not the mark of the beast. And you probably weren't around back in the day when the flu was everywhere like crazy. Let's see what else. There was all kinds of disease. I'm talking about diseases now. I'm not talking about a virus.
So now here she goes on to promote vaccinations and say, you can tell she really doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, she kind of sounds like the common person you would talk to on the street. Like, oh yeah, there were all these diseases back then, and all these flus, and just this is what I'm talking about. The people in the church, prophesying things like that, and they still aren't up to date on what's going on with the medical establishment.
But back in the day when people had all different types of diseases, and a cure came for that disease, and even our kids now, most of them, you can take a vaccination when your child is a certain age that stops them from having like polio and I can't remember.
There we go with polio. It's the first thing that ignorant people talk about is polio. Well, polio and all kinds of diseases when your child's a certain age. Like, really, if you don't know what you're talking about, just don't say anything about it. And she's talking to all these people who are relying on her for information, which is fine because everybody has a choice onto who they should listen to, right? You eat the meat and spit out the bones,
Typhoid fever, chicken pox, things that were a lot more serious. Those things were so much more serious than the virus is. I'm not telling you to ignore it. And I think if people use normal everyday precautions and stuff, I think that we're all going to be okay. I really believe God tells me, this is what he says, it's going to pass. And I think that probably means to God, it will no longer exist on the earth. The enemy, Satan, wants to use that virus to put fear in people, to keep them away from everybody else. And I know this also, that in the past, before this thing came, everybody had friends, they had family get-togethers, they loved one another. Your love for each other is so important. So however you can do that, give a hug to your family. I'm totally against people wearing masks in their own home unless they have maybe a very aged senior. That wouldn't be my mom, by the way.
So she's against people wearing masks in their own home. Wow, that's really radical. But except if you're by an elderly person. So it goes to show you she's still promoting the medical establishment, which is part of the beast system, in my opinion.
Well, she was here on the program, not listening. That's not my mom, and she's almost 90. She's extremely healthy. She does go out with us. She does things. She wears her mask, and she's very happy she gets to go out. But as far as the vaccine goes, it's not the mark of the beast. There is no mark of the beast.
So her mom wears a mask, but she shows no concern about kind of trying to encourage her mother not to do that. She seems, kind of happy that her mom is wearing a mask when she's out. I mean, jeez.
There's people writing books again, probably writing one about this, about the virus being the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is not for now. Not at all. It's probably several hundred years, maybe into the future. I can't really tell those exact dates. I know God showed me 100 years into the future,
Wow.
And it was not had the mark of the beast. The Antichrist went on the earth at that time. You focus on running your race right now for what God has now, and you make the choice. Do I want to take this? Do I not want to take this? I'm sure many people will take it. Like I said, all the tests I've had so far, they've not had any real negative reactions to it at all.
Oh my
Good.
God.
That's good. Well, good. Okay, let me ask you this.
Can y'all believe that that's what she said? Like, nobody has had negative reaction. I'm sure some people will take it. And she says it like it's nothing. I mean, wow.